Hey guys, it is John C. Morley here, serial entrepreneur. It's great to be with you. In case you're wondering, today, ladies and gentlemen, is Tuesday and it is February 18th, 2025. And it's great to be with you here on Inspirations for Your Life, your place where you can learn about some really powerful nuggets that can really impact and change your life if you want to do that. If you guys just got up and want to get something from the kitchen, maybe something to drink, something to eat, maybe some water, maybe something healthy, maybe something sweet, depending on what it is. Go ahead and do that and hurry on back. Our master topic for the week, ladies and gentlemen, is how to align your intentions with actions. That's really powerful. It's series 4. We're on show number 8. And of course, today, our granular topic is how to monitor energy and focus. Series 4, show 8, episode number 4. Wow. This is a really powerful episode. All right. So, again, I am John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur. It's always such a privilege, pleasure, and honor to be with you guys on these amazing days, mornings, and evenings. If you've been noticing, I've been doing the shows earlier now, and I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to that. It's because I have class in the evening, and it's been working out a lot better to do the show early in the morning most days. So that's been really good. I really love to do that. All right. So do check out believemeachieve.com for more of my amazing, inspiring creations to keep you empowered to achieve your aspirations. All right, everyone. Have you ever felt like your energy levels just dictate your success? Well, one moment you're in the zone, crushing your tasks. And the next, you're like drained and sluggish and really just barely able to keep your head up, right? It's like, oh, all right. And you just don't know if you're ever gonna make it even past the day because you don't even have enough energy to even walk or breathe, right? Seriously. What if you could optimize your energy and maintain peak performance throughout the day? That'd be pretty cool. Well, listen up. In this episode, I'm diving deep into how to monitor your energy and focus effectively so you can take charge of your productivity, avoid burnout, and stay mentally sharp. From understanding the science behind energy management to practical strategies for sustaining focus, we'll cover everything you need to unlock those keys to give you that potential. Whether you're an entrepreneur, a leader, or simply someone looking to maximize daily performance, this episode is packed with game changing insights. What's coming up? Well, you're going to have to stay tuned. So, the first thing is number one, the connection between energy levels and productivity. Energy fuels your ability to think, create, and perform at your best. Understanding how your energy impacts productivity is key to working smarter and not harder. I'll explore how fluctuations in energy affect concentration, motivation, and efficiency, and why mastering energy management can be the secret to sustained success. It'll kind of be like your, like I'm going to say, it's almost like your little personal secret weapon. So I think that's a really cool thing. So you're definitely going to want to pay attention to this episode. It is packed with lots of great, amazing things that you can just choose to apply in your life almost immediately. All right. So the connection between energy levels and productivity is number one. Number two, how to track and assess your daily energy patterns. Your energy levels follow a rhythm throughout the day. Knowing when you're at your peak can help you align your most important tasks with your highest focus periods. I'll discuss different tracking methods from journaling to tech based solutions to help you gain insight into the personal areas of the flow in your life. As we go back, I'm just going through the identification now and letting you know what they are. And then we tell a little story about each one. Number three, identifying activities that drain versus boost your focus. Some tasks leave you feeling energized, while others just drain you mentally and physically. Identifying these energy, I like to call it zapping activities, and finding ways to balance them can significantly improve your productivity. I'll cover how to categorize tasks based on their impact on your energy levels and how to structure your day for maximum efficiency. Number four, the role of sleep. Nutrition and hydration in energy management is key. Your lifestyle choices play a major role in your cognitive performance, sleep quality, diet, and your hydration levels. So that can make or break your ability to stay focused. I'll dive into the science behind how these factors influence your brain function and share some actionable tips to improve your daily habits for sustained energy. Number five, sustained strategies for mental clarity throughout the day. Staying mentally sharp isn't just about avoiding distractions, it's about training your brain to maintain focus over time. So I'll discuss some proven strategies such as the Pomodoro technique, which I love and I use every day, except when I'm on the air because the show is not 25 minutes, right? It's a little longer. I'll discuss some proven strategies, like I said, the Pomodoro method, and about breaks and cognitive resets to help you stay clear-headed and productive from morning to night. All right. Number six, recognizing signs of burnout. And how do you prevent that, right? Burnout sneaks up on us. Even the most driven individuals might get close to burnout. By recognizing early warning signs like chronic fatigue, lack of motivation, and brain fog, you can take the proactive steps to prevent it. I'll talk about stress management techniques and sustainable work habits to keep you thriving in your place of business or where you work. Number seven, how mindfulness and breaks can recharge your focus. Almost like we recharge our cell phone, right? With our USB cable, just kind of plugging it in here. Now, for those of you that don't see this, I'm holding up my cell phone and I'm plugging in the cable. And when I do that, it actually beeps. And right now it says my phone. If I look here, it's actually, if I look here right at the screen, it will tell me that my phone is actually at a 94%. So it's needing to charge up. But, how do we just plug in and charge? We'll talk about that. All right. So there are ways to do that. Recharge focus. Pausing isn't a waste of time, it's a performance enhancer. Mindfulness techniques and intentional breaks help reset your brain and improve overall focus. I'll explore how meditation, deep breathing, and stepping away at key moments can restore clarity and boost long term productivity. Number eight, tools and techniques for monitoring energy and concentration. Technology can be a game changer when it comes to tracking energy and attention. I'll highlight some of the best apps, wearable devices, and practical tools that will help you measure and optimize focus throughout your day. Number nine, the impact of digital distractions on focus and how to manage them. Notifications, emails, endless scrolling can hijack your attention. Managing digital distractions is critical to maintaining high levels of focus. I'll discuss how to set boundaries with technology, use focus enhancing apps, and design an environment that supports deep work. All right, number 10, setting boundaries to optimize mental performance. I told you there was a lot today. You didn't believe me. Peak performers understand the importance of boundaries. Remember, if you miss any points, and there's still a lot that I'm going to go through yet, you can actually go back and rewatch this episode as an audio, like as the podcast, or you can watch the video. Just go to believemeachieve.com and you can choose whether you want to watch the podcast just like now, or you want to listen to just the audio podcast. You can do either. All right. So peak performers understand the real key to boundaries, whether it's saying no to unnecessary commitments or creating an optimized workspace. Setting clear limits allows you to stay in control of your time and your energy. And I'll share some powerful techniques to help you establish and enforce boundaries that support your success. Well, that's what we're going to dive into today. So now you know kind of like the foundation for what I'm going to be talking about and some stories. So the connection between energy levels and productivity. They are 100% related, but some people don't think they are. They are. So energy fuels your ability to think, to create. So let's talk about this. So what can I eat or drink to get good energy? Well, first thing I want to talk about, there was a company you might know, Kellogg's, and they did this commercial many years ago when I was watching cartoons on a Saturday morning. And they were talking about the fact that, when you have cereal, a lot of people don't eat cereal in the morning or don't have breakfast. And they figure they don't need breakfast, right? You know what they get? If you don't eat a proper breakfast, you will get an energy crisis. What the heck is that? Yes. So, is skipping breakfast bad? Yes, it's not good. Okay. This is one of the most common questions that people always ask. And we've all heard that breakfast is the most important meal of the day, right? It's been drilled into our heads since we were one. The reason why, however, you may or may not know, is that there are many factors to this. First of all, we have to tackle the assumption that intermittent fasting means you skip breakfast. But here's the thing, no one skips breakfast. The word breakfast comes from two words, break, fast. When you sleep, you fast, which means you don't eat. That's the beauty of intermittent fasting. You're already doing it. Whatever your first meal of the day is regardless of the time, is actually your breakfast. So you're breaking your fast. The more accurate question to ask is it bad to delay breakfast? Or I'm calling it breakfast, right? Breakfast. We've heard that it's important to eat breakfast within an hour of waking in order to fire up your metabolism. We've also heard that people who eat breakfast are more successful in losing and maintaining weight. And we've all been warned that our energy will tank if we don't eat something first thing in the morning. But people that don't eat something in the morning, even within an hour or two, oh, they need to go charge to like a candy bar or something if they don't have breakfast, right? So, but guess what? Your metabolism is already on fire first thing in the morning. It's burning stored energy, the food already stored on your body, which we call fat. However, when you get up and you eat right away, your body stops burning stored fuel and starts burning the new fuel, your fuel you're putting in you, and that's your breakfast. Delaying your first meal gives you more body time to burn fat. Now, the caveat here is that you must be metabolically flexible in order for your body to efficiently burn this fat energy. But sadly, there are a whole lot of people who aren't metabolically flexible. Uh, People who eat a standard American diet, which is called SAD, full of processed foods, fast foods, and excess carbs, are sugar burners. Their bodies can't efficiently switch over into fat burning modes. Once they've burned most of their stored sugar, the body always uses sugar energy first and then the fat energy. But if you can't switch over, that's a major problem. Your body needs energy, and if you can't get it from your fat, it needs to get it from the food. So, I think it's important to understand that we should not skip our breakfast. That is probably the most important things I have to tell you. All right, number two, how do you track and assess daily energy patterns? So, uh, first thing I want to share with you is something I call Lumen. I was one of the founding forefathers of this many years ago. So when I purchased the product, I actually just paid once and I don't have to pay monthly. So, but now they charge you monthly. So I'm just going to open my iPhone here up here and unlock it. And I'm going to go to the app. And the app is called Lumen. For those of you that can't see me, it's called Lumen. And so what I'm doing now that I've got Lumen on the screen, it says your lumen flexibility score is the following. So I'm going to say next. And then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take the cap off my lumen, which I've just done. For those of you that can't see this, it's like a little thing. When a lot of people see me do this, they think I'm vaping, but really I'm not. I don't vape. I don't smoke. And for those of you that don't know why, you need to watch some of the videos. I lost my grandfather when I was only in second or third grade. So to me, ladies and gentlemen, smoking is a big no-no. All right. So right now, I am going to go ahead and take a measurement. I'm going to go in here and I'm going to take a measurement. And so, right thing I'm going to do is I go right into the app here. And so, all I do is I tap to measure, and I push this little button on the side here. And when I do that, which just takes a second, is a little purple you can see starts to light up. It uses Bluetooth, and then it says John's Lumen right here on the actual device. So now you're gonna watch and listen to me. So I'm gonna push. I'm ready. Now here's what I'm gonna do. I'm first gonna hold the button. I'll explain what I do afterwards. I'm gonna take a breath. Watch this. It's gonna take a second to warm up. And when it warms up, I'm gonna inhale to get the ball in the circle and keeping it in the circle. So I'm gonna inhale. Watch what happens.
Exhale in three, two, one.
Okay. Never did that with it facing the camera. That was kind of weird. But anyway, right now it tells me that my score happens to be a 5, since I had a big meal before, so I'm burning mostly carbs right now. But again, the handy thing about this is that you can know whether you're burning carbs or burning fat. You can know whether that piece of cake you had actually it got burnt off, or whether the food you ate is giving you nutrition. So the other thing is that you want to switch between burning fat and burning carb. I'm not going to get into all that right now, but Lumen is one of my favorites. You can also use things like MyFitnessPal. That's another good one. What are some other great apps for tracking your body's energy? Well, things like Fitbit, right? There are things like Body Insights that will track your heart rate. There's Livity. There's an energy routine app. And so you can actually take your pulse. I don't know if you knew this. You can take your pulse with your iPhone. Now, people ask me, well, how do you do this? So you take your pulse with your iPhone using an app that uses an iPhone's camera. It's an instant heart rate app. Now, the thing is this: this app is not free. Of course, you knew that, right? It's not free, and it's actually produced by Body Matter and the way Inc. And the way it works is by you using the camera. It's able to use the, I'm going to call it the waves coming off your body, the energy, and it's able to tell what your heartbeat is, which I think that is really, really cool. So that's just one way of how to track a few ways. And I love my Lumen. Okay. So number 3, identifying activities that drain you. So what drains you? Maybe people drain you. Maybe you've gone to a game. It's like, oh, I feel so tired. Or maybe you're with this group and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to leave them. Right. Or you're with another group. It's like, oh, I feel so pumped. And it was like, oh, how, well, maybe you're in alignment with them. You're in connection with them. Other people aren't. So they're like drained. So when you do something that is going to balance you, it will help refuel you. You don't necessarily have to go charge the cable back in, or you don't have to go to sleep right away. You get charged in different ways, but you still need your sleep. I don't want you to think you don't need your sleep, but you can get some of your charge from other activities like being around people. Maybe it's dancing, maybe it's singing, maybe it's writing, maybe it's doing creative stuff like I like to do video production. Maybe it's getting charged like I get charged every time I get on camera with you guys. So I think it's important to categorize tasks based on the impact of the energy they have. Maybe you can rate them as something like a low impact to my energy, meaning it doesn't take a lot away. Maybe one's a medium impact, one's a high impact on the, let's say, the depletion scale. Then another one might be low impact, medium high impact, and that it's actually raising my energy. So you can look at it that way too. So you have to have basically 6 levels. So you have 3 levels going down and 3 levels going up, right? And so when you're able to identify what causes your body to get charged, right? If we know that taking a cable and plugging it into my iPhone will charge it in so many hours, right? And we know that putting batteries on a charger will charge them, then we know certain activities will charge us as humans. So that's a good question. What activities can charge our energy as humans? Because I know this is one that a lot of people be like, I don't know what you're talking about, John. So activities like physical exercise, like walking, swimming, biking, taking fresh air, stretching, yoga, dancing, spending time in nature, listening to music, spending time with loved ones, engaging in creative hobbies, like I told you, getting enough sleep, spending time maybe just with yourself and just kind of pondering, right? Being mindful, right? So I think those are really important things. Social connections with certain people can definitely help you in that way. So identify what these are and start doing these things more that fuel you. You'll be really happy with that. The role in sleep, it's key. Everyone asks me, John, how many hours do we need as either males or females in sleep? Well, that's a great question. So the average adult needs at least 7 hours of sleep per night to fuel themselves up and be refreshed, kind of like, filling your gas tank up, right? However, research suggests that some women tend to sleep just a little bit longer than men. Um, age older typically need 7 to 8 hours. Older adults, um, people like let's say maybe women that are pregnant or in menopause or something like that, they may need some more sleep time because of what their body's going through. So, how many of hours of sleep does a male need? About 7 or more hours. Newborns to 3 months need 14 to 17 hours. 4 to 11 month year olds need 12 to 15 hours. 1 to 2 year olds need 11 to 14 hours. 3 to 5 year olds need 10 to 13 hours. 6 to 13 year olds need 9 to 11 hours. 14 to 17 year olds need 8 to 10 hours. 18 to 25 year olds, which is like around the college time, 7 to 9 hours. 26 to 64, 7 to 9 hours. 65 plus, 8 hours. Okay, so now let's say how many hours do females need for sleep? So, and we're gonna base it again by age. That's probably the best way to think about it. So, recommended is 3 to 5 years, 10 to 13 hours per day, including naps. 6 to 12, 9 to 12 hours per day. 13 to 18, 8 to 10 hours per day. 18 to 60, 7 or more hours per day. 61 to 64, 7 to 9 hours per day. 65 years and older, 7 to 8 hours per day. Why? Well, because hormones change, right? Same thing in males as well. But when you sleep, your body becomes more prepared for things. You know, when we are proactive rather than reactive, and yesterday we talked about fire drills and we talked about Code Adam and lots of other things. When we are prepared for an emergency, right? Emergencies don't care about when they disrupt us. They just happen. That's why they call them emergencies. So, like when I was talking about my fires that were happening at school because these brainiac people just didn't know how to cook and they were pretty much drunk, kept setting their curtains on fire. And I had to be prepared finally and have my jeans and my pullover ready to throw over my pajamas so I could quick go outside with my jacket and not freeze to death. And so I learned from that. But if we learn from other people's experiences, like when I tell people going to college, if you're going to college, be prepared. Be prepared with a pair of jeans that you can throw on real quick over your pajamas if you're just wearing either underwear or you're wearing, pajamas. Be prepared with a quick pullover. Be prepared with a jacket that you can go get easily, right? Make sure your shoes are something quickly that you can just pop on your feet by just sliding into them. And make sure that you have your keys handy because if you leave your door and you don't have your keys, well, that's a problem, right? So you have to be prepared. So being prepared is great. No one ever got in trouble. Excuse me. No one ever got in trouble for being prepared, right? It always happened because we forgot something. Like, for example, many, many years ago, I knew my parents got locked out. So when I got my own place, I realized that, hey, I don't want that to happen to me. So I'm going to put an emergency key somewhere. I'm not going to tell you where, but I have an emergency key somewhere. I've also have other ways to get into my car. If, let's say, something happens to my key, I have the electronic ability to unlock my car with my phone and also call the 800 number so they could actually let me in as well. So these are important keys. Be proactive because proactivity takes a lot less energy than being reactive. If there was a fire, God forbid, and you were proactive, guess what? You would probably have a lot more energy to get through that fire, and the chances of surviving would be a lot higher than you reacting. I'm not saying you can't. I'm just saying it's better to be proactive. Sleep is key. We talked about that. Strategies to sustain mental clarity throughout the day. So, how do you stay sharp? How do you train? This is a great question. How do you train your brain um, to be sharp at all times? Well, that's a real game one. One I like to say is play games that use logic, math, words, visual spatial skills like crosswords, puzzles. I love to do math in my head, even if it's like change and stuff like that. Eat well, stay active, don't smoke, limit your alcohol consumptions, have good social relationships, meditate to improve focus and concentration and attention. So when we have social relationships, it doesn't need to be romantic, it could just be friends. we have more of a value. At least we get that perception. And when that happens, it actually charges our energy. And so that's important. So we know that we can use strategies that can help us. We can all use things like the Pomodoro method, which I use when I'm not on the air, where it's basically broken down at about 24, 25 minutes. I use the Windows focus timer where I just set what I want, whether it's 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. And I don't do any kind of work without using Pomodoro now. And I got to tell you, my work has really gone through the roof. I just started using Pomodoro around December of this past year, 2024. I feel a lot more energized. I do not feel tired. And I get the stuff done I need to get done. I put stuff on the sheet. Everything's done. I'm like, gee, I have more time. All right. So recognizing signs of burnout. This is really, really important. What are the signs to recognize? Okay, this is important before burnout. And if you don't recognize it, you'll be crashing, right? So, what are some of these signs? So, one of them can be something as simple as helplessness. Like, I feel like I can't do anything. Cynicism, like everything around, I'm like constantly being negative about everything. Sense of failure, self doubt. Okay, you're gonna get some of this, but if you get so much of it that it's like overburdening or overpowering you, that's a problem. Decreased satisfaction, feeling detached or alone in the world, loss of motivation. But the hallmark of burnout is chronic fatigue. It manifests as deep, relentless tiredness, sabotaging daily life and happiness. It comes with other burnout systems like headaches, stomach issues, constant sickness, crushing productivity, and of course, your life quality. So let me tell you what that's like. Now, we've all gone through this, whether you're at college and you're doing an all-nighter, or whether you found yourself like trying to do the 8 ball. And so what's important is that you recognize that your body needs time. Like, oh, wait a minute, I didn't get that rest. So either your body's going to force you to take that rest, right? Which isn't a good thing. Or you're like, you know what? I feel tired. I need to take a little more time to rest. And there's nothing wrong with doing that. You need to recognize when your body is not getting what it needs. And you got to tell that you're not getting the right performance, right? Like if you use your iPhone and suddenly everything isn't working, or it's too slow, or I'm using a drill and it can't even burr the hole like a tiny bit. It's already like instead of going, it goes. The battery's kind of. So I know that I need to let the drill charge rather than try to waste it, because I could hurt the battery, I could hurt the bit, I could cause all kinds of issues. So I think it's important that we recognize signs of burnout when we notice this. This even comes into effect when you drive. This is a really important one. How to recognize when it's time to take a break with driving. And this is one a lot of people don't like to admit, but it's very important. So one is eye fatigue, frequent blinking, heavy eyelids, rubbing your eyes, mental fatigue, difficulty concentrating, daydreaming, wandering thoughts, physical discomfort, muscle tension, stiffness, restlessness, dry behavior, drifting between lanes, missing turns, slow reactions, yawning, stretching. When this happens, pull over to a safe location. Better yet, if you can't, get off the road and pretty much don't do anything. That's the most important thing, rest. So there's even things in the cars now. They'll actually detect, they call it a coffee cup, to know whether you're actually within time or not. Tools and techniques, there are so many out there, but I want to encourage you guys to mitigate not only this, but also digital distractions, because that's important. And the last thing, ladies and gentlemen, is you've got to set those boundaries. If you do not set those boundaries, your body's going to set them for you, and it's going to possibly lead to something you're not going to like. So remember, you have the right to say no to people and say yes to yourself. Give yourself back the energy. Love yourself, and you'll get so much more out of life. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur. Please do check out BelieveMeAchieve.com for more of my inspiring, amazing creations. I'll catch you guys at another show real soon. Have a great one, everyone.